boat. Right, I've come out of the marina. I'm going to go down to the winding hole at Hartshill, turn around and moor up, because I've got a bit of work to do, and I'm going to make some noise and put a bit of dust into the air. But I didn't want to disturb anybody, so I thought I'd just get out of the way and do that on the towpath. But in this episode, a review on my trip around Warwickshire Ring and how I found it. Right, I'm coming up to the winding hole now, and what I found is there's a boat moored up right on the winding hole. Now, it's a nice big winding hole. I should be able to make it, but that's really annoying when people do that. I wish they wouldn't. Well, I've moored up a few yards that way, and sometimes when you moor up, especially overnight, it pays you to walk up and down the towpath, even a few yards, and have a look round for points of interest. For instance, where I am here, there's the winding hole where I turned round. I've moored up just a few yards that way, and there's a notice board here about Roman Mansetter. In this area, they have a strong claim that this was the spot where Boadicea had her last battle and may even have died at that battle in AD 59, AD 60. Now, according to the map diagram there, I am standing next to the canal by the winding hole, and this was the back of the Roman army. The other side of this hedge is where, or further on, was where Boadicea's army was. And according to this sign, as many as 80,000 British died in that fight, but only 400 Romans. Now, I doubt that. But it does look like there's evidence here that there was a great battle for Boadicea's army, and they did catastrophically lose it. So, yeah, it does pay you to have a look around. The first 3 days really hot. The day especially that I left, it was swelteringly hot, and I went down the canal to Atherstone and down the 11 locks at Atherstone flight, which actually was really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm just sad that I lost the film footage of me going through my first lock, but I will go back and revisit some locks, probably even Atherstone, and show you exactly how badly going through locks can be done. But really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, after the first day of going down that flight of locks, it was so hot and I was so exhausted from the heat more than anything, I had to stop for the night at the bottom of the Atherstone flight, and then carried on the following day through to Curdworth, which again was a brilliant piece of canal to travel along. It was picturesque, there was lots of people to nod to and chat to. Thoroughly enjoyed it. With the first 2 days of my journey being through the Coventry Canal and then joining on to the Birmingham and Paisley Canal, it all went really well. It was relaxing, it was enjoyable, and even though the heat was very draining, I was having a great time. But I moored up at just past Curdworth Tunnel for day 3, and day 3 took me into Birmingham, and it was there that I found out that the maintenance work was going to happen at Garrison Locks, and I needed to take a detour, which put a strain on the fact that I needed to get through Birmingham. But I managed to get through Birmingham and all those locks in one day, and it was so busy I didn't actually manage to film any of those locks because I had to keep going. And besides that, that's where I fell in the canal and lost all my film footage of the first part of the journey. But going into Birmingham, very interesting, the approach in through the industrial areas, but not particularly secure. But managed to get through it all in one day, but it was a long day. That was just over 12 hours in the day that I turned the engine on at 7 o'clock in the morning and didn't turn it off till just after 7 in the afternoon, well, in the evening. Pleased I got it out of the way in one go, but very tiring with hot weather. But going through Birmingham, it was okay. It wasn't as enjoyable though, and I did meet some dodgy characters. Well, while crossing back from the Digbeth arm onto the Grand Union, I ran into 2 youths, who took a great interest in my boat, peering through the windows and asking, well, awkward questions along the lines of, you're travelling on your own, what sort of television do you have? Do you have a television? What do you do if you need money? All this sort of thing. I managed to sort of discourage them by, to be honest, swinging the windlass round wildly while I was doing the locks, and I don't know, maybe they decided that it wasn't worth it or I wasn't worth mugging, and then they passed on. But for a moment, yeah, it got very awkward, and that was only one incident. The second incident, I picked up what I can only describe as a weirdo. A little bit later on from that stretch, I was going through a lock and a chap said, "Oh, I'll help you," you know, which is not unusual. People do try and lend a hand. And then he started asking, "Can I come inside the boat, have a look round? I'll pay you to have a tour around the boat. If I come on the boat, give me a lift up the canal. There's a cash point there, I can get you some money." Anyway, in the end, I just had to say to him, "Listen, get lost." And he did, so, you know, it worked out all right. But yeah, awkward going through there. But by the time I'd come out the other side through to Catherine de Barnes at Solihull, it was all back to business as usual on the canals. But yeah, that was quite stressful, just that bit there, always looking over your shoulder because of those two incidences. By day 5, I had my emergency phone delivered to me, and I managed to start filming, and you can pick that up in my other videos. And then it just seemed to fly by. The trip really between Warwick and Braunston just absolutely flew by. But Hatton Locks, because I'm relatively local to that sort of area, yeah, it's legendary to go through Hatton Fly. To do it single-handed, yeah, it was quite a challenge. Thoroughly enjoyed it, but I'd do it again, I really would. But you're asking yourself, what about the star of the show, the boat? Well, let's have a quick look and I'll tell you exactly how the boat performed. How did the boat perform? Well, she performed absolutely brilliantly. The cooling system, that fan extraction hot air system there that I put in, worked absolutely brilliantly. I had this engine running on more than one occasion for 12 hours continuously, and she never overheated. I didn't get any smoke out of it. She worked a treat. Everything else absolutely brilliant. Nothing came loose except for one little bolt which came out of there, but I've got that. We'll put that back in. And the fan belt came loose on a couple of occasions, but it's all nice and tight now and it's staying in, but I will be buying a new fan belt. Apart from that, absolutely brilliant. All the electrical installations that I put in on my panel there, everything worked exactly how it should be. So yes, I was really, really pleased with the performance of the boat. So what's this detour I was talking about? Well, because of maintenance works on part of the canal, I had to take a detour. Now, to help you understand this, I've drawn a quick diagram so you can see it. Now, I came in on the Birmingham and Paisley Canal, and I should have gone down the Grand Union, which is 5 locks. However, that was out of order for maintenance work, which meant I had to go to the next part of the canal, which is the Aston Flight, along there, which is 8 locks, cross over on the Digbeth Arm, which is another 3 locks, past Typhoon Basin, and then back onto the Grand Union Canal, which was 11 locks instead of 5, and it took quite a bit longer than was expected to cross through Birmingham. But that was the delay, purely because the 5 locks at Garrison Locks were out of order, and I had to make my way round, which caused a lot of confusion with me and other boaters trying to figure out exactly how long everything was going to take. But it all worked out really well, other than it's the Aston Flight where I fell in the canal and lost my good phone. So that was the detour. Well, I finished work for the day. I'm going to head back to the marina now for a rest. We'll tie up. The wind's getting up a bit now. It's not so pleasant here. I need to get back to the marina before it gets too windy so I can get the boat in easier. I'm approaching a boat called Aslan, and that belongs to Kevin, who has a YouTube channel, who country house gent. There he is. Stopped off and had a chat with him. Seems like a nice chap. Good luck with the videos, Kev. I'll see you again. Would I recommend going on the Warwickshire Ring? Well, of course I would. It's a challenge for a family or a group of people, and a real challenge on your own. But as a rite of passage, it ticks all the boxes. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope to do it again one day, but there's other journeys to do first. But the Warwickshire Ring, yeah, do be careful of Birmingham, but I think if you can get through Birmingham in one day, definitely worth doing. A couple of of people have commented, now that the boat is usable and I've done the Warwickshire Ring, is this the end of the episodes of Ed's boat? Well, no, not by a long way. I have got lots and lots of work to do. I have got lots and lots of journeys to go on. I have got lots and lots of features that I'd like to put in my videos. And if you can put up with watching them, I certainly will give you some more. But I'm still working on the boat. That hasn't stopped. Every spare minute I get, yes, I do go out and play on the boat now and again, but I'm still working on it. But we'll cover that in the next episode. In the meantime, take care, and I'll see you soon.